again.
If you were able to go back in time and tell a young me at the age of 7 that one day Batman and Superman were going to square off in a movie, I wouldn't be able to believe it. I would be so excited about that concept. And if you went to 16-year-old me and told me one day there would be a new Star Wars movie, it's going to be better than these current prequels, and it's going to be produced by Disney, and Lucas will be hands off, so he wouldn't be able to ruin it in the way we thought he ruined the new movies, I'd be pretty amped about that. But both of those new movies came out, Batman vs. Superman and Star Wars Episode 7, and I haven't seen either of them. And why? Those are two big franchises in my lifetime. Those are two big properties that I've been a fan of for many years. Why am I just kind of not interested in these new movies? And I've been thinking about it for a while. And one thing I could think about for the superhero movies is that they just look so bleak and dark. And I don't think that's something I want from those movies. When I think of my favorite Superman in cinema, I think of the 70s and Christopher Reeve. And that inspired so much hope. I can just picture him standing there and flying above the Daily Planet. And it was, it's an inspiring sight. And the new Superman, from what I've seen, doesn't have any of those qualities. And even the Batman movies of the early 90s, the Tim Burton ones, which were darker in tone, still had a lot of hope. Batman was a cool character in those movies. But in these new movies, he's so tortured and there's so much despair, there's really nothing to latch onto. It's kind of just a miserable experience. What about the new Star Wars movies? I get a sense that they're so slick and shiny and overproduced. And maybe it's a question of visuals. The old Star Wars was done on a fairly moderate budget. And I think that they really pushed the creators to do a lot with art direction. And everything about those movies had such a tactile feeling to it. The stormtroopers had these white armor metal plates, but they looked worn out, and they looked like real, actual armor that a soldier would wear. And the whole world felt lived in. It wasn't too clean. But the new Star Wars tend to be very, highly produced, so much CG that nothing really is actually happening in the scene. And there's a whole suite of new characters, and I don't know, maybe that's also part of it. Maybe I have too much of a fondness for the old characters and the old aesthetics of Star Wars. So those are, I think, two valid ways to explain why I'm not excited about the new movies. But then you think about a movie like Ghostbusters, which is being rebooted with an all-female cast. And, well, I shouldn't have any reason to not want to see a new Ghostbusters. And I haven't seen any of the new trailers or commercials for the new film, but I already am disinterested. So maybe it's not so much about any particular reason about art direction or messaging or the bleakness or the cynicism. Maybe it's just being an old guy and liking the stuff you liked when you were younger. Maybe it's about the things that really hit you when you're 9 years old or when you're 12 or 13 years old, and those things are always going to be the most important things to you.
Say what again?